Hey, I'm Zach Walker. This is Zach's Variety Show. Um, Hi. We're going to be doing a settings test today. Let me go ahead and edit my stream information. Wednesday, settings rehash. Okay, so the problem we've been having with Microsoft Flight Simulator so far is essentially it's using way too much CPU. So let's go ahead and pop up a picture-in-picture of our. Oh, never mind. We're just going to close that. Um, Essentially, it's using too much everything. So let me give you a picture-in-picture pop out of Task Manager here. And I'm just going to summary view. It's in this weird level of zoom for some reason. I don't understand. Let me close this. Hmm. Create a video capture. Picture in picture. Menu. Menu. I'll click OK. There we go. All right, so we've got a little generic CPU meter, and you could see it's just going ham. And this has been our problem for most of our flight sim is that it's going ham. So we're gonna mess around with some settings and try to bring it in line. Hmm. All right, so we need to hash out some graphics settings. Allow us to play this game. So we are starting at the. We're gonna start at the lowest of low and see if we can work our way up from here. The menus always use 100% GPU, so there's no point in pretending that that's even a thing. let's see. Hmm. So checking out bugs and issues, I think you find out the most optimal ones so we can get Sexy things with stuff. Oh my god. Oh, this. Thank you for the gravity emote, Sexy. Hypergravity. I'm still messing around with the alt stuff and like some to try and bring down usage. It's this right one. It's essentially cracking because of the CPU loaded 100. Okay, so my CPU has gone down to some sort of like more sustainable level, it looks like. So maybe you'll be able to hear me now, Dexy? Let's see. Yeah, exactly. So, I've been trying to tweak this a bit to allow me a bit more freedom. Um, so I've got 5 players, no air traffic, live weather, but it's not giving me a choice between weather. I have to have live weather if I have live players. Okay, okay, so we've got live players, off air traffic. So all I should see is players and weather. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in and see if this works. All right, ready? Here we go. All right. Gonna jump in and see what kind of CPU load take. 55% loading in. That's a sign. That is a good. That is a good sign. Hopefully. I wonder. Now that I'm not using Reaper, maybe my voice is offset again. All right, so keep an eye on our no. Keep an eye on our CPU. It seems to be doing all right. Redlined a little bit there, but it's not all that bad. Our fuel should be fine for what we're intending to do. All right, Dexy. Here we go.
Parking brake. Set. Battery switches. Autopilot. On. Generator switches. On. EPU knob. Start. EPU RPM.
Here we go.
Seattle clearance delivery Penguin 2515 IFR to Kilo Charlie Lima Mike ready to copy. Penguin 2515 is cleared to Kilo Charlie Lima Mike Airport as filed. Takeoff runway tree 4 right climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure
EPU
frequency
bleed.
is 120.1
jet
squawk
switch.
7011.
On. External power. Off. Bat amps. Both. 0 or charging.
Okay.
Penguin 2515 cleared to Kilo Charlie Lima Mike Airport as filed. Takeoff runway tree 4 right climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure on 120.1 squawk 7011. Penguin 2515 readback is correct. Contact ground on 126.875 when ready to taxi.
Okay, so we've got our read back. We are set externally. We're going to set our flaps to 1. We're going to set our autopilot to flight director on. 6,000 feet was our initial climb altitude, so we're going to set that. $6,000 so we've got all of our departure information set in there. We don't really need any of this other stuff on right now, so we're good there. Let's check our flight plan, make sure it's loaded. It did. Alright, we are going to go ahead and That all looks good. Let's turn our nav to FMS. And let's go ahead and turn all our speed bugs on. And then we'll go ahead and turn our wind to option 3 so we can see our wind. Then we'll head home. Don't really want to do anything over here yet. We need to turn on our anti-icing. Then we are gonna go up to lights, I believe, next. We're gonna turn on all of our Recog lights. We're gonna turn our panel up. Good. We're gonna turn our wing inspect and everything on. So we are ready externally to roll out players. Maybe we'll see some as we go. So we're not started. We need a pushback. So we've got clearance. We're gonna get our pushback. Turn to ground. We're gonna request. Oh, not ground. Ground services. We're gonna request a pushback.
Ground Penguin 2515 requesting
Nose
pushback.
right.
Penguin 2515 pushback request accepted.
Ground Penguin 2515 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right.
Penguin 2515, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
So our guy should nose us backwards to the right. Which is a fairly clear area for us to be pushed back into. Parking brake off. Oh no. Nose right isn't what I wanted.
Ground Penguin 2515 requesting the end of pushback.
Penguin 2515 request to end pushback received.
Ground Penguin 2515 requesting pushback.
Penguin 2515 pushback request accepted.
Okay, we're gonna take a pure pushback, and then I'll ask to push back to steer the nose to the left.
Ground Penguin 2515 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
Penguin 2515, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Okay. I assume this will happen at some point. We just kind of messed up the pushback, so I'm assuming it's going to take a while for the tug to reposition. I'm just going to keep looking at my settings. My CPU is at 78 now. That's pretty solid. I think we're doing a good job. Not bad. Yeah, he's stuck. That's okay. We're gonna request stop with pushback. We should be able to. We're not that close to the line anymore. We should be able to spin left and go wherever we need to go. We're gonna go back to clearance, and then we're gonna ask to taxi. We're gonna start up our engines while we're doing that.
Power levers. Right engine run/stop button. Contact tower
Right
on
engine starter button.
119.9er when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway tree 4 right using taxiway Bravo Penguin 2515.
Push. Engine instruments.
Okay, so we've spooled up both engines at once, a little ahead of time. Usually you would start one and then the other, but we've already asked for taxi clearance, so I'm going to kind of expedite both engines starting, and we're gonna start a one engine taxi. It's really not allowing me to. There we go. Now it's letting me. Alright. So let's roll down to like a nice taxiing level of speed here. Throw out some
Monitor.
ailerons.
Power levers. Idle. Left engine run slash stop button. Run. Left engine starter button. Push. Engine instruments. Monitor.
Alright. So we are complete and we are rolling. Let's reset our visual to a about 45-degree downward drone cam. We're gonna try and take a 20%, maybe like a 20% push start until we get to about 15 Kia. Alright, that's close enough. We're gonna pull down to like 15% maybe. It's a lot harder to turn this plane above 10 knots on the ground. Okay. I still haven't seen another player, so my settings might be a little too drastic. Our CPU is still lining right around 80%, give or take. So that's pretty decent. I wish I could see the core breakdown of what cores I was using on this, but like a breakdown for every core would be nice. Maybe set affinity somewhere. It's hard to know how much I'm using my computer sometimes because it's not perfect. There we go. There's little spikes here and there of CPU usage. I'm using a little bit for so the thing is, the deal is like my computer's definitely using some CPU for OBS. So I've brought down the CPU usage quite a bit because with OBS on, I'm still only getting 80% usage right now. 85 is a big spike. But I'm not going into the 90s as much, which is very telling. Alright, there we go. Let's get back on the center line here. We've got a good 15 knot taxi going. So that's not too bad. We're heading out to our runway. It's labeled incorrectly. We are going into 32 because the direction we're traveling is runway 16, but when we roll back around, we'll be pointing the other way. So they've got that one wrong, but that's okay. I've noticed a lot of taxiing inconsistencies. Alright, so we've picked up some speed from just having a nice free roll, which is unimportant at this point. We could have taken either of these taxi lines. I don't know why it's shifting me. But that's fair. I could take off with half this runway, so I don't really need that much runway. Not sure what the takeoff flaps are, but we're gonna go 2 notches down for takeoff. Um, Takeoff flaps are subjective in this plane as far as I can tell because they don't provide any of that information to you. So if I knew, I would be all about that. Um, okay, we'll just put our objectives up so you can see them. Um, this is very simple groundwork when it comes to taxiing. Like generally you ramp up the APU, get all your electrical systems set, get all your planning ready, and then you request pushback. Once you're pushed back, you spool up your engines, request your taxi. You take your taxi. Usually there's a lot more involvement in taxi, but it's okay because let's be honest, ATC is not all that great right now. They tried to kill us yesterday, and I've seen ATC try to kill us multiple times. So they tried to slam us into the side of a mountain the other day, which was not a really good choice. All right, so we pull back a little here. We're going to stop just outside the runway 34 transition. The line means we're changing towers. We're changing to tower. So let's go ahead and hit tower. And then we will stop just short of runway 34 entry. Okay, so we're going to request our takeoff clearance.
Seattle Tower Penguin 2515 ready to go runway tree 4 right IFR to Kilo Charlie Lima Mike.
Penguin 2515 cleared for takeoff runway tree 4 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 4 right Penguin 2515.
Okay, so we were cleared for takeoff runway tree 4 right. And we're gonna see that's the wrong taxi information, but that's fair. We're gonna line up on the center line, and it's gonna yell at us because it doesn't realize we're doing what we're supposed to do. Alright, close enough. We're going to hold our brakes, and then we're going to set our speed to manual, and then we're going to set our speed to 10. And we are going to be ready. We're going to push sync our current heading. Pop the heading select on, and then we're going to pop the okay, we'll put on altitude hold when we get to 6,000. All right, here we go. Ready? Let's go.
departure on 120.1.
Autopilot stalled.
I don't know why we're stalling. There we go.
2515, acknowledge last transmission.
120.1 Penguin 2515.
Alright, here we go.
Stall.
We shouldn't be stalling. Alright, hold on. We're gonna hold altitude, autopilot on.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Okay, we've got our flight level change at a speed of 210. Alright, come on. Nav mode on. So we're climbing out. There's the Space Needle. So we're at our designated cruise altitude.
Landing gear. 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 Landing gear.
Alright. Alright, so why are we going up here? Oh, I don't even have departure on.
Seattle departure Penguin 2515 is at 7,400 feet, descending 6,000 feet. Penguin 2515 Seattle departure continue as planned. Altimeter tree 0.00.
Okay, so I'll hit our altimeter. We're definitely not.
Seattle departure Penguin 2515. Request 10,000 feet. Penguin 2515 descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect 10,000 feet. Descend and maintain
I'm not
6,000
gonna do that.
feet. Expect 10,000 feet. Penguin 2515.
Pick our airspeed 210. Do a flight level change at 210 knots. Not entirely sure why they want me down here, even though I really need to be up higher to get over the mountains. I need at least 7,000 feet to go over some of the lowest of the mountains. We're not even going to talk about Mount Olympus if it puts me over the top of that on the course. I still don't actually see people, so I feel like I may have picked some bad settings for that. I feel like my GPU is being underutilized at about half, so I could probably turn up a couple of those settings, but I need to make sure that it doesn't change the CPU load.
Climb and maintain 10,000 feet, Penguin 2515.
Alright, so we should be climbing to 10,000, which will give us the height we need.
Penguin 2515, contact Seattle Center on 128.5.
128.5.
Going to 128.5, Penguin 2515.
Seattle Center, Penguin 2515 at 9,000 for 10,000.
Seattle Center, Penguin 2515 is at 8,900 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Landing gear.
Penguin 2515 Seattle Center, continue as planned. Altimeter tree 0.00. Penguin 2515, contact Seattle, departure on 120.1.
120.1 for Penguin 2515.
120.1 for Penguin 2515.
Seattle departure, Penguin 2515 with you, 9,800 feet for 10,000.
Seattle departure, Penguin 2515 is climbing through 9,800 feet for 10,000 feet. Penguin 2515 Seattle departure, continue as planned. Altimeter tree 0.00.
Oof, that's a heavy altimeter.
Penguin 2515, contact Seattle Center on 125.1.
125.1 for Penguin 2515.
Going to 125.1, Penguin 2515.
Seattle Center, Penguin 2515 at 10,000 feet.
Seattle Center, Penguin 2515 10,000 feet.
Penguin 2515 Seattle Center, continue as planned. Altimeter 29.999. Penguin 2515, you are tree 4 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect RNAV runway 26 approach via job and transition. Cleared to job.
Oof. Okay.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect RNAV runway 26 approach via job and transition. Cleared to job, Penguin 2515.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Alright. So we've walked onto the approach line. We have started our descent to 6,000 feet.
Penguin 2515, please expedite your descent to 6,000 feet.
Yeah, I got you. Alright, so we're doing alright. Coming down to jobbing. Alright, I believe 149 is our entry speed. Our approach speed is 149. So when we get to approach, we will jump onto 149 for our speed. We'll have to throw a bunch of flaps on that. In fact, we're gonna go down under we're gonna go down under 200 to like 190 right now. And as we slow down to 190, we're gonna pop a set of flaps out. Alright, let's go in and check our...
Wind 2515, descend and maintain 3,700 feet.
Descent and maintain 3,700 feet. Penguin 2515.
We're gonna go to like 185. So we've hit our flight level change. We're coming up over Jobbin. We're gonna make our turn here. Moving down to 3,700 feet. So we've got that. You can see the Olympics off to the left. That's looking really good. Looks like we're lining up all right. Okay, so should just kind of be coming into Kobux. Let's go ahead and see what our Kobux transition.
Penguin 2515, contact Whitby approach on 118.2.
Oh,
Going to
118.2 for 2515.
118.2. Penguin 2515.
Their flight plan. We're gonna go down to 3,000 Kobux. It's not a big transition. Should be alright for that. Hey, Hagland. Knew it. Alright. Boom.
Whitby approach Penguin 2515 3,700 feet.
Okay, we're at
Penguin
Whidbey.
2515 Whitby approach, continue to Cobucks as planned. Altimeter tree 0.00.
Perfect. Alright. We're doing good. We're over Squim. So we've got some time. How are you doing, Hagland? How's it going? We're gonna get a 3000 transition here. We're gonna get an approach to 3000, so let's go ahead and reset our altitude to 3000. And then we'll be ready for the flight level change when they ask for it here.
Penguin 2515, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3000 feet, 2515.
3,000 feet, Penguin 2515.
Alright, so let's do our flight level change. We'll keep our speed at 180. So we'll bleed off another 10 during this descent. There we go. And then our next flight level expected is a 1620 at CB. So 1620. So we'll go 1600. So we should make a slight turn and the airport should be coming up on our forward view. We're going to drop speed down to 160, I believe.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Alright. Speed drop to 160. Gear out. Flaps 2.
Penguin 2515, you are 9 miles east of Kilo Charlie Lima Mike.
Penguin 2515.
Alright. So I've been given clearance. We're going to go down to 150 knots, which is essentially our entry speed. Taking our flight level change. We're gonna move our flight level change all the way to 1,000. Wow, let's go 800. Back up to 1,000. You can see the airport right there in the distance.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic Penguin 2515 is on final runway 26 to land. Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic Penguin 2515 4 miles east inbound RNAV runway 26.
Okay. So, we're almost there. We're gonna take ourselves off autopilot.
Autopilot.
We're gonna start coming down.
$500.
Okay, we've removed auto throttle. Pulling back.
Stall. 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 Stall.
Woo! All right. Okay. So our CPU was under 80 that whole time. It only spiked to 100 every once in a while. So we can turn up some of our, and our GPU never popped over 70. So we should be able to turn up a few settings. I just have to figure out which ones they are. It's probably ground textures, I'm thinking. Reset configuration. We're gonna exit runway. You resumed your custom command, Hagland. So good. Alright, hold on. I will add it in. It'll take just a second.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic Penguin 2515 is clear of the runway.
That's good. We're gonna go into the fuel box here. Well, that wasn't the fuel box I was looking for. I'm actually gonna go over to the fuel box. I don't know why my front wheel's so sticky. Yes. All right. All right, so we're in our destination. We're gonna set our parking brake. We're going to turn off our flight director. We're going to come across over here. APU is on. Okay, we're gonna come just across and go right across and do everything one at a time. Nothing there to do. Okay, here we're going to flick, flick, disengage, disengage, off, off. There we go, logbook. Tectron Aviation, Cessna Citation Longitude, departure from KC, arrival, KCLM, total time of flight, 22 minutes, 23 seconds, daytime, 1 takeoff, 1 landing, boom. Continue. Alright, we're gonna get all this stuff here. We're gonna switch APU gen on, left gen off, right gen off. Ground power on, APU off, all icing off, all lights off, except panel. I'm gonna leave panel and flood on. APU off. Ground power off. Battery off. Now we have a completely quiet airplane. And now we're gonna go change some settings because I never saw anybody. So that was interesting. Hagland, you have asked for a personal emote. Okay, let's see here. Stream dashboard. Do you want it capitalized, Hagland, or do you want it do you want it capitalized, or do you want it to respond to lowercase? Okay, perfect. Yeah, because that it's a pain to hit the caps on commands if you're just doing it quickly. Hagland, there we go. So go set to Hagland Gaming instead. Zawa. see. Okay. And activate command. Okay. Your command should be active now. Focus complete. Actually, I should change that. Hold on. You'll actually appreciate this. Just hold on. Give me a second to get it to work. There we go. Okay. Wait for 30 seconds, and then go ahead and pop your command again. It has a cooldown. Like, all of my commands have cooldowns. So let's see. I'll just pop it. There. I think that looks better. I got rid of the colon. Alright. So, there you go. That is a usage of your points. And yes, now you can start storing up for Twitch things like everyone else. Okay, so that flight. Let's go ahead and check out our task manager history if we can here. Seems like my GPU was never taxed very hard. So I could turn up some of those settings as long as it doesn't mess with the CPU. And that's what I need to figure out. Which settings are all about the GPU and which settings are about the CPU. So let's go ahead and write. Um, mhm. So let's go medium buildings, low shrubs, medium texture resolution, and see how that does it. Okay, so let's see what this does to our CPU. All right. Okay, so our GPU and our CPU still looking pretty good, to be fair. All right, let's take it up and do a couple circuits around and see what's changed. So we're gonna do a quick
Parking brake. Set. Battery switches.
Autopilot.
On. Generator switches. On. APU knob. Start. APU RPM.
All right, we'll check this out.
TAWS system test. Okay.
Stabilizes 98%-100%. APU bleed. Norm. APU gen switch. On. External power. Off. Bat amps. Both. 0 or charging.
Okay, so we've got our systems back up. Let's pop our lights on. Got our autopilot. Flight director on. Good there. Okay, so I think we're good here. FMS. Speed bugs on. PDF wind option 3. Anti-icing on. Alright, let's start this baby up. Power. Off. Start, stop. Run. Engine engaged. Gauge left starter. Run. Okay, so we should be running now. Put our button guards down. Monitor our engines. They're spooling, you can see. Flaps position 1. So they're trimmed to 0. Okay, engines are all spooled up. So let's just run the checklist to make sure that we're fine.
Power levers, idle. Right engine run / stop button, run. Right engine starter button, push. Engine instruments. Monitor, power levers, idle. Left engine run / stop button, run. Left engine starter button, push. Engine instruments. Monitor.
Okay, so we did that. So we're good there. Now here's my fun part. Let's roll into this. And the thing that they don't do is I'm going to turn off the APU now. And I'm also going to turn off the APU gen. Because we're on full engine power, so we don't need to do that. So now that we're all set up and ready to roll, we've got our flight plan in. Let's go ahead and select a runway for takeoff. Runway 8.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic Penguin 2515 is taxiing to
Did I
runway
crash?
8.
No, I landed. No, I'm just setting everything up. Everything seems fine. I haven't dropped any frames. My CPU's staying at about 78 to 80. I was sitting very still. Parking brake off. Spool up and turn on out of here. Hey. Alright. So my plane can't really make this turn up here. It is physically limiting turn. So I'm going to try and come wide into it. Look at that. Nice. Alright, let's taxi down. We're going to need a good bit of the runway to get up into the air. Haglund, have you taken off at my airport before?
My airport?
Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm doing right now. You sure? Hmm. Well, we're taxiing over.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic Penguin 2515 is taxiing to runway 8.
Here we go. We're gonna do this. It's weird how it doesn't show, but because it's chroma keyed out. But my hair is actually darker green than it was before. Alright, so we are at where we would jump to tower. I don't know Whidbey. I need to look up Whidbey. Whidbey approach. Or, Whidbey. I need to look up Whidbey's, numbers to get clearance. So I don't have a runway incursion. Let's see.
Kilo Charlie.
Okay. We're on runway 8. So, Whidbey. Let's go ahead and go into our FMS. Whidbey 118.20. Okay, I guess I can't really force the departure here. So we're just gonna have to.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic Penguin 2515 taking off runway 8 straight out departure.
Here we go. It's about to get grumpy at me. It's gonna call a runway incursion because I have 0 clearance, but it won't let me get clearance from Whidbey, so I'm just gonna go for it. It still thinks I'm landing. Alright, here we go. Jog up. Gear up.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Flaps in 1. Flaps in 2.
Whidbey approach Penguin 2515 is type Cessna C700 2 miles east of Kilo Charlie Lima Mike. Request flight following.
Penguin 2515 Whidbey approach. Squawk 4147.
Squawk 4147 Penguin 2515.
Penguin 2515 radar contact 3 miles south of Kilo November Oscar Whiskey 4,100 feet. Altimeter tree 0.00.
Copy Penguin 2515.
Penguin 2515 contact Seattle Center on 125.1.
125.1 for Penguin 2515.
Landing gear. 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 Landing gear.
All right, I hear you.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Okay.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Hey, I see a person. Surge
Landing
681.
Landing gear.
See if we can pull back out and see Surge on the map. He must just be at Seattle.
Whitby approach Penguin 2515 8,300 feet.
Penguin 2515 would be approach continue as planned. Altimeter 29.999er.
Whitby approach Penguin 25155 miles south of Whiskey 28 request IFR to Seattle ready to copy.
Penguin 2515 is cleared to Seattle Airport as filed. Squawk 4147.
Penguin 2515 cleared to Seattle Airport as filed. Squawk 4147.
Penguin 2515 read back correct. Radar contact 8,300 feet. Altimeter 29.999er turn right heading 110 proceed on course climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Turn right heading 110 resume own navigation climb and maintain 11,000 feet Penguin 2515.
Penguin 2515 you are 47 miles northwest. Keep speed below 230 knots expect ILS runway tree 4 right approach via Sunder transition. Cleared to Sunder.
Keep speed below 230 knots expect ILS runway tree 4 right approach via Sunder transition cleared to Sunder Penguin 2515.
Penguin 2515 contact Seattle Center on 125.1.
125.1 Penguin 2515. Seattle Center Penguin 2515 is climbing through 10,600 feet for 11,000 feet.
Penguin 2515 Seattle Center continue to Sunder as planned. Altimeter 29.999er.
Okay, well, that was interesting. They just, instead of landing north, the wind must be weird. Seems like we're landing from the south to the north, which is fair. We've just gone down to the Sunder transition. Alright, we don't want this to take too long, so we're going to go ahead and raise our airspeed. There was no speed limit, so we're going to raise our airspeed to 300 for a little bit. Or not 300, we're under, oh, we're above 10,000, so we can go 245 fairly safely, maybe. And we'll go up to 300. We're gonna pop on the speed because there's literally nothing. Like, they put us up at 10,000 or 11,000, so I'm gonna take advantage of the speed limit up here and go 300. to get us there a little faster. Now, I'm not going to go 320, and the reason I'm not going to go 320 is I'm obviously being sent south. I don't know what the weather is like, and if I go 320, I have to slow down from 320, which it's a lot easier, 20 less miles an hour of speed to bleed off, so that makes me happy. Alright, so Surge 681 is definitely in Seattle.
Penguin 2515, contact Seattle approach on 126.5.
126.5 for Penguin 2515.
126.5 Penguin 2515.
Alright, so this is interesting, Haglin. We're gonna roll through the south. Let's see if I can get a picture-in-picture. Alright, so here's our VFR map. We're just gonna... Looks like our CPU and GPU are still doing just fine. And these are much nicer settings, so... Okay, there we go. Alright. Look at that. Much better. I'm starting to like this better. It's starting to stream easier. Now that we've got the settings, I had to tweak the settings quite a bit, but now we have the CPU overhead for streaming. So we're doing okay now. Okay. We are definitely missing some ATC.
Seattle Center Penguin 2515 11,000 feet.
Penguin 2515, Seattle Center, continue to sunder as planned. Altimeter 29.999er.
29.999er, Penguin 2515.
2515, descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Penguin 2515.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Penguin 2515.
Okay, we're gonna
Landing
pop
gear.
out some air
Landing
brakes.
gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
We've got our air brakes out.
Landing gear. Landing
We're
gear.
going down to 210.
Landing gear. Landing
We're also
gear.
descending and maintaining
Landing
6,000.
gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Penguin 2515, contact Seattle approach on 126.5.
126.5 for 2515.
126.5 Penguin 2515.
Landing gear. 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 Landing
Seattle
gear.
approach, Penguin 2515 with you at 8,000 for 6,000.
Seattle approach Penguin 2515 is out of 8,600 feet for 6,000 feet.
Landing gear.
Penguin 2515 Seattle approach continue to Sundra as planned.
Landing gear.
Altimeter 29er.999er.
29er.999er.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Alright, we're almost to Thunder. Alright, 210. We're gonna pop the speed brakes back down because we don't need them anymore. That'll bring our engine back out. Shall we make that turn on the Sonder? 210 is fine. We're gonna have another altitude change here. Check that out. If we can. Home. We're gonna check our flight plan. Sonder, 4,000 feet will be our 5,000 feet, then 4,000 feet. So let's go ahead and jump the over 5,000 feet. $5,000 feet, and then we'll wait. Let's bring our speed down to 180.
Landing gear. 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 Landing gear.
Bringing our speed down to 180. We are doing okay. There's Mount Rainier. Oh, Surge? Yeah, definitely at Seattle. Might be at Boeing. There's Mount Rainier. Mount St. Helens is a little bit out that way. But Mount Rainier right there. And then, we're about to roll into our turn. Look at that. Look at that view of Rainier right there. Oof. Okay. Alright, so we're at 180. We're going to drop a set of flaps. $150 is our approach speed. We're making our turn. You can see the fog and haze, that's pretty much essentially what I always see. It's pretty darn good weather. Let's roll in. A couple clicks on the main map here. So you can see we're coming up to the S44 transition turn, going into Sonder. 180 is about as slow as I really want to go. Until I get down to like Clues. And when I get to Clues... when I get to... it's not letting me. Never mind. When I get to Clues, I really want to start pulling back on the speed because then it's bucking right in. So, we're doing okay right now. Give or take any actual guidance from the airport, I think I'm in good shape. Surge J681 is right there. Or Surge 681. Definitely a System of a Down fan. Or Surge Tankian. Could be, could be either or. Coming up on the 44 transition. And then Sonder.
Penguin 2515, descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet, Penguin 2515.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet, Penguin 2515.
180. We'll double check our flight speed to bring it back to 180. For our flight level change. So much easier to use the flight level change button on the citation longitude anyway. The CRJ, not so sure. But or the CJ4, sorry, not sure. But the longitude, so much easier to use flight level change. Especially with the auto throttle. Pretty good. Sonder. Okay, so we should be coming down to our flight level soon. Let's go ahead and check in the FMS. I believe our next flight level is 3,000? No, 4,000, which is what we're going to, then 2,2. Alright, so we're going to set our altitude for, back a bit, set our altitude for 4,000. As soon as we stable off, because I don't think we're stable yet. Alright, now we're stable. So now we can set our altitude for 4,000.
Penguin 2515, descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet, Penguin 2515.
4,000 feet, Penguin 2515.
And see, we were ready for that. So now let's go ahead and hit our FMS, and we're going to get a descend and maintain 2,200, which will be our entry, I believe. So we will come back to that as soon as we get down to 4,000. We're going to zoom our map in twice. Okay. Almost at 4,000, and then we should as soon as it flips off of flight level change, which it just did, as soon as that stops blinking, I can change my altitude down to 2,200. Okay, 2,200. Okay, that'll be our next change. We'll double check that on the FMS. 2,200, and then it's landing, so... iffy. Okay.
Penguin 2515, you are 14 miles south of Seattle. Contact Seattle Tower on 119er decimal 9er when inbound.
119er decimal niner for 2515.
Tower on 119er decimal niner Penguin 2515.
Seattle Tower, Penguin 2515, 13 miles south, inbound ILS runway 34 approach.
Penguin 2515 Seattle Tower. Cleared ILS runway 34 right approach. Altimeter 29er decimal niner niner wind 282 at tree.
Oh no.
Cleared ILS runway tree 4 right approach Penguin 2515.
Okay, we're hitting our approach speed of 15 with our flight level change. We're gonna drop some flaps and gear. Flaps and gear are out. We are descending. Alright, we're gonna hit our flight level change down to 1000. And then I'll take over. Alright, here we go. We are flaps ready. We are air brakes ready.
Penguin 2515 cleared to land runway tree 4 right. Wind 277 at tree.
Cleared to land runway tree 4 right Penguin 2515.
Okay. Flight level change is gonna stop us, pull us off at 1000. Alright, and now I'm gonna go off of autopilot.
Autopilot.
And I'm gonna go off of auto throttle. Start pulling up a little.
500. Stall. 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 Stall.
Speed brakes on, full reversers.
Penguin 2515 turn next taxiway.
Turn next taxiway.
Seattle Airport
There we go. That was that. Hey, Lil, how you doing?
Penguin 2515 contact ground on
122.275 for 2515.
122.275 for Penguin 2515.
How you doing, Lil? Sorry, I didn't have very much attention in the middle of the landing. It was a little rough. Not bad, though.
Seattle Airport information, Juliet 1800 Zulu. Line 2. Seattle.
Ground Penguin 2515 taxi to the gate.
Penguin 2515 taxi to gate Bravo 4 using taxiway Bravo.
Woo! There we go.
Taxiing to gate Bravo 4 via taxiway Bravo Penguin
This is so
2515.
good. That was a good run right there. It's a weird bit of steerage, but we've got it. Hey, bub. So what? Oh, do you want to take off mommy's headphones plug? Okay. Do you want my help on that? Okay, we're good. My engine's alright. We're taxiing okay. Here, I'll help you take off mommy's headphone plug. There. Okay. My task is complete. Thank you. Okay. Why did I slow down so slow? I thought I had my engine revved to like 15%. Alright, so once we get parked, this will be the end of our stream. This worked out really well. Oh my gosh. What a crazy landing. Let's actually reset our plane to 0. Bingo. We're gonna reset our trim while we're here. This is where it'd be nice to have like left-right engine thrust instead of a single engine thrust, because turns would be so much easier if I could apply a specific engine thrust to them. We've almost got our trim in. We'll keep pulling it up. There we go. Trim 0. So while we're taxiing, we've reset our flaps to 0, reset our trim to 0. You can see our parking box up ahead for the gate. It's the same gate we left Seattle out of. And now we've returned to Seattle at this gate. Pretty solid, if I do say so myself. So we've done round trip service from Seattle to Port Angeles, Washington today. We know you have lots of choices. Thank you for flying Air Penguin. Please make sure all seat backs and trays are in their upright position, and give us 5 stars. We are an independent contractor, and your rating does go a long way towards keeping us in business. So thank you for flying, once again, for flying Air Penguin. We're gonna put our parking brake on. Flight director off. We are going to jump right through the hoops here. Nothing there. We are going to go ahead and turn our APU on. We're going to turn our APU generator on. We're going to turn our left gen and right gen off. We're going to turn our batteries off and our ground power on. Now we're going to go ahead and flick on over and turn off the anti-icing. Go ahead and kill our lights. And because we're going fully dark, let's go ahead and kill the panels too. Alright, so our engines are going to go from the run condition to the stop condition. And there's our logbook. KCLM to KCA, total flight time of 25 minutes and 47 seconds with a, it doesn't count my takeoff, but it does count my landing. I don't know why. I think it's just because of the incursion. Like, I can't seem to file a solid flight plan that lets me take off from my airport for some reason. I'll see if we can figure it out. Yeah, okay. So then we're gonna continue and we're gonna put the airplane into full-on dark mode. Disengage left engine starter, disengage right engine starter, close off the main buttons. And then we're gonna go ahead and turn off the APU generator and go ahead and make sure the APU is off. APU off. We'll let that spool down a little bit. And then once the APU is off and we are on full ground power, we no longer care, and we are going to go off of ground power to a fully dark airplane. Okay. Hey, thanks for watching. I know you have. Thank you for spending your time with me. We are going to rate to somebody who is active. Let's just go ahead and stream Twitch. And who is active that we follow? Hopefully. Let's see. Hagland up and running yet? Nope, 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 nope. Mordavos with Keyforge, Jimmers with Rocket League. We're gonna jump to Mordavos. Mordavos is a Team Academia member. If you don't know about Team Academia, that is part of our XGRALIVE, EXGRALIVE, and we play games to raise funds for sick kids. We do it twice a year on both the time changes in America. So we are about halfway to our goals. You can see above my head for the year. And that's amazing in a year where everybody's financial situation is very sketchy and everybody's really worried. But in a year where we have a pandemic that's affecting everybody, including kids, funding for kids' hospitals is even more important. So if you have a little bit to give, Extra Life, pop that link, or there's a thing underneath where you can donate. Help out kids who need life-saving care. Thank you. Mordavos is a part of my team for Extra Life Team Academia, and we're going to raid on over right now. So have a good day, and bye.